Oh, hello. It looks like you caught me in front of my retro game collection. What? You think it looks empty? Oh, I think I know what you mean. Here, let me show you my collection. Thankfully, it all fits on this tiny little, cartridge. Yeah, that's what it's called. Anyway, let me just, pop it in the old NES here. See, this is where the cartridge goes, and there you go. So sit back and relax, so I, the world-renowned entertainment master Dan B, can tell you about the top 3 retro games I did not grow up with.
This is a review show. This is a review show. You don't have to like it, but I hope you like it.
Let me start off by saying this is a response video to Nefarious Wes, who made his own video on the same topic and put out the call for responses. You can check out his video and channel by clicking the link in the description. So why am I holding this tiny NES-looking device? Because it's a RetroPie, and it's thanks to this little gadget that I am able to tell you about these gems I'm about to list off. If not for emulation, I don't think I would have ever played these. Why? Well, let's start off with number 3 on the list, and you'll start to see the picture come together. By the time we hit number 1, it'll all make sense, I think. Unless it's like time travel. I could never get backwards time travel to make sense without causing a paradox. Let's hope this list goes better than the time Marty McFly invented the skateboard, then rock and roll, and hooked up with Lorraine. Do you see the paradoxes any one of those would cause?
Number 3.
Kokoron. So this was a close call and a tough pick. Having only been released in Japan, it would have been difficult for me to play this game growing up, but not impossible. I wasn't against importing games, and I had imported a Game Genie before it was released in the US. However, I had never even heard of Kokoron until I came across an episode of The Gaming Historian. The episode wasn't even about this game. It was an aside to the main topic Norm was covering. It looked like so much fun, and the history behind the creators heightened my interest in trying to play it. It's worth mentioning, this game was directed by Akira Kitamura, who had previously directed Mega Man 1 and 2. The music was composed by Takeshi Tedashai, who also did the kick-ass music to Mega Man 2. That's a pretty awesome team of people. Released in 1991, Kokoron starts off with an elephant-like creature named Tipar, asking your character to save Princess Lua, who is trapped in a dreamland. Since this takes place in a dream, you can build a character with different strengths and weaknesses. The game itself plays similar to Mega Man in the way that you can choose which level and boss you want to battle first. However, once you choose a path and beat it, the next place you go will be influenced by your position on the map. This means if you choose to fight the pirate in the Milk Sea level, and from there decide to hit up the Fairy Forest, you will have to transverse a new portion of Milk Sea level to get there. All of these levels are creative and very fun to look at, and while not your hardest of NES games, the bosses and stages will challenge you, especially later in the game. Like many Mega Man games, I can pick this up and play it anytime, just to have a quick, fun challenge. If you haven't tried it, I highly suggest you seek it out and give it a go.
Number 2.
Little Samson. Little Samson is one of those games that is so hard to come by and so expensive in today's market that everyone is going to have an opinion on it. Developed by the same masters who got their feet wet on Kokoron, Little Samson takes a lot of the ideas that worked and runs with them all the way to the end of the system. With stunning 8-bit graphics, super tight controls, and the ability to switch characters on the fly and use their individual powers, this masterpiece should be experienced by any fan of NES action-adventure platformers. In Little Samson, you can take control of the titular character, or one of the 3 other characters, being the dragon, the golem, or the mouse. Samson is your most rounded character, with his ability to climb walls and throw acorns. Kikara, the dragon, has the ability to fly, breathe balls of fire, and has a charge shot while holding the attack button. Gam the golem is a slow rock creature who packs a big punch. He takes the least damage from enemies and can also walk on spikes, which would harm any other character in the game. Finally, there is KO the mouse, who is small but quick, and like Samson, can cling to a wall with ease. KO also has a bomb attack that when used correctly can be very destructive. The music is a bit more sparse in terms of variety in Little Samson, due to each character gets their own personalized soundtrack. It does add a certain depth to the game to hear each character's music as you switch between them, which you don't get in other games with linear stage music. This game is a challenge and will test you at many points. There are some fun secrets to be found, and you'll find the game is not entirely linear when you discover them. You may want to stay away from this one because of the price tag, but if you can pick up a cheap repro or are willing to emulate, then this is a great addition to your retro gaming catalog.
Number 1.
Baseball! Yes, baseball! America's #1 pastime! Oh wait, this isn't the type of games we're talking about? Oh. Alright, well let's switch that up.
Number 1.
Mousetrap! It's hard to believe I never played this game when I was growing up, but here's Mousetrap. A really fun game. Oh, I'm being told we're not talking about these kind of games either. Oh, video games only. Okay. Well, let's try this one more time.
Number 1.
Earthbound, also known as Mother. Originally released in Japan on July 27th, 1989, the 27th of July being my date of birth. For the Famicom, Mother is an RPG game with play similar to Dragon's Quest, only the game is set in the late 20th century America. While Mother didn't make its way officially to American shores until 2015, there were several prototypes floating around, as the game had been fully translated for English release as early as 1991. I suspect the decision was made to keep it off shelves because the game resembles its successor, Earthbound, on the Super Nintendo fairly closely. A lot of the same themes and scenes are used here as they are in Earthbound. Some would say Earthbound does it better, and it probably does. However, Mother was the one I tried first, as I wanted to play the series in order. Really, I can't recommend the entire series of all 3 games enough. They are quirky, charming, and challenging enough to keep you entertained. A big part of these games is they have a lot of heart. They suck you in, and you feel what the characters feel, because they are kind of relatable. Anyway, I won't go into spoiler territory with this. I just know I would have dug the hell out of these if I had played them growing up. Okay, time to remove the cartoon mask. So that's all from me for today. If you have your own 3 games and you would like to make your own response video, please do so. They are fun to watch. Thank you for watching this one, and I'm glad turning into a cartoon is much less dangerous than traveling back in time and giving myself these games. Okay, well, I'm off to go see the President of the United States, James Rolfe, make his big speech on how to fix the economy by shitting on old video games. Until next time, bye.